Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to my unfinished sketchbook. I'm Gina, and I am thrilled you are here with me today for this fun little practice that I like to do in my sketchbook. It's kind of a riff on color swatching. So I'm going to pick a color, and I just happen to pick blue because it's my favorite. But pick a color, any color, and gather every single utensil you have that is that color. Now, I'm not going to use paints right now. I'm just going to start off with crayons. So I just have some basic crayons here, nothing special. And then I'm going to pull in, these are my chalk pastels. So I'm just making anything that's blue, I'm just going to swatch it on this piece in this paper in my sketchbook. And then I think I'm going to pull in some oil pastels. Let's see here. Yep, there they are. So these are my oil pastels. These are the ones that are not very precious. They are, there's some water-soluble ones in here. I think those are by the brand Portfolio. I got them off of eBay. And then there's a couple other brands in there. This is an oil stick, and it's my absolute favorite color. So that's why I have such a big oil stick, because I love to use it. And then these are some Neo Color 2s. They are water soluble. They're by Caran d'Ache, and they if you put water on them, they will be more like a watercolor. So I have the Neo Color 2s, which are water soluble, and then I have some Neo Color 1s, which are not water soluble, and I love them. That's like the best crayon ever because they're super pigmented. And then I'm going to pull out my colored pencils, and you can see I'm really filling up my page. So on this page, I have all kinds of different shades of blue. So I've got some purpley blues, I've got some green blues, some true like navy blues, gray blues, and that just right there makes me just giddy. I'm so excited. I love colors like this, and I love color swatching because then you get to really see all the different shades of blue that you have, or shades of whatever color. It also lets you know what kind of supplies you have too. And I have a lot of supplies. But I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to like totally go off the rails here. I'm going to go with the opposite of blue. So I pulled out oranges, some yellows, some whites, and I think like some sort of a golden color there. These are just craft paints. And I think that's a little bit of a magenta. I'm going to go in and paint all the spaces in between those color swatches. Now I know you're like, why are you doing that? Well, because I wanted to just play around with contrasting colors. I know blue and orange, they create a lot of excitement. And I love that color combination. They are opposite each other on the color wheel. And by the way, I have another video coming up where I'm going to do a whole color wheel with you guys. And so you'll be able to see what I mean about being contrasting and how they play off of each other. But I just wanted to play around with how these guys interact. So I get that first page done, and I covered it with, I believe that was some matte medium. And that was just because I'm going to add another layer on top of this, and I didn't want anything to smudge or smear. And I wanted to keep all of my water-soluble things I put on that page intact. So while the right-hand side is pretty uniform and pretty linear, the left-hand side, this is where I'm going to go a little more abstract and just kind of free form. I want to still play around with my color palette, my blues, my oranges, my yellows. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in different marks and shapes and just see how they interact. I'm going to pull in that pink, that magenta, just a little bit. I don't want to pull too much of it in because I'm afraid it'll go pink, and then I want to keep this pretty much this really warm orange versus the blue. And then for the blue, I pulled my favorite blue, which is like a sky blue, a denim blue, and then of course that really, really dark blue. I think it's a Prussian blue oil stick, because those are the ones I wanted to focus on. I could have done one of those other color swatches. I could have done like a green blue or a purpley blue, but those are the colors I chose, that bright orange and then that sky blue. And now I'm just kind of layering them on top of each other, seeing what happens when I put that golden yellow on top of the blue, what happens when I soften up the orange by adding a little bit of some yellow to it, some white, going over on top of the right page, the right-hand side, and just adding more color swatches on top of that. Now, I'm not going to walk away with a finished piece here because that's not my intent. My intent was not to make a finished piece of displayable art. My intent for this is to play around with color and to see how they work with one another, to see what feeling I can evoke whenever I put these colors together, and how I can change those feelings and change the messages that these colors have by just adding different elements, maybe going a little darker or going a little lighter. And here I'm kind of softening the whole thing up by just adding some white, and I think that's chalk pastel. So guys, I encourage you to do something like this in your sketchbook. Have fun with color, play around with it, see what gets you really excited, see what color combinations you can come up with. And I hope you get as much joy out of this as I did. I hope you're healthy, I hope you're happy, and I hope you do something creative.